Okay, so links to the tangles are in the chat, and thanks, Alyssa. And I didn't even see yours. I was channeling your brain. Thank you for the reminder. All right, let me put this second link in, and it's for the same uh same tangle. Just like to have it be from the originator of the tangle too. And let's see, and Jamie, brand new. Let's see, brand new to everything. Well, welcome. We're gonna have fun, and yeah, no, this will be good. All right, so let me share my screen. And because I started off early at the beginning, I'm like, I'm fingers crossed that this shouldn't have been one that I put on a Tough Tangle Tuesday. I don't think so. I think this was just, there's one section that I was having trouble with, but it'll all be good, because actually I came up with a workaround in my head after I did the step out, but that's okay. All right, sharing screen. Sure I am. There I go. Okay, and I might have to get up in a minute and shut my window because there's trucks going by and it's being loud. And if that seems distracting, let me know as well. Okay, Kim likes a challenge. That's good. All right. So, Starling by CZT Ranjana. I'm gonna guess. I don't know if if the CH is a ch or a ka. Tochtermann. We'll try that. And I'm hearing a mic on. Let me just check really quick, just because I'm getting a little feedbacks. There we go. Oh, it was okay. So
it's I'm gonna chime in. It's Tochtermann, because it's a German name. If you look on the other step out you sent us, link from her, you can see how it's spelled a little bit easier. But it's Tochtermann.
Yeah, the Ranjana though, or that sounds Indian, so that's why I was getting a little confused.
Yeah, she probably married someone German though.
Right.
Okay, I'm off.
So, okay, thanks. All right, so it starts off with triangles, and it's nice. And so, and I'll show you her work in a moment. But so I'm going to say it doesn't have to be kind of curved like you see, but making a nice big triangle, and then we're going to do a triangle underneath it. So this is using the hollow bow technique, and I'll talk us through that, especially for those that are new. Because there is a way, it's not just putting a little triangle on each side. There's a way to make it look like it's connected, like it does. Then here's where I ran into challenge, was doing kind of a spiral into the side of each side, and then having it point up. And it's probably just a me thing. You know how you have, it's just kind of like brain fog ish. I'm like, all right, I have to do this, and I have to do it in a way that it connects there. And then doing it the flip side, it was just like, oh, but as you can see, it kind of looks okay. Then she has us doing some aura-ing on the inside, and she had that in the step out. But I'm going to put this into the play section, because as you look for a moment, then when I show you her work, then you say, oh yeah, we don't really have to do that. But I tried to get that in there, and then the start is in box 4, and then box 5 is just continuing the aura. So putting these little curved lines in, and then aura-ing those. And then in the last box, it's playtime, and so I just made it solid. The best course correction ever. All right, so here is Ranjana's work, and so you can see it is absolutely gorgeous. Lots of play. Do this way bigger than you think, so it almost becomes a reticula, for other tangles, or just for having a lot of fun. But say I like this first one, and you can see here where this aura-ing that I was mentioning. This is it's very neat, because these here that you would do in step 3, and yeah, the reticula. Thanks, Alyssa. Reticula is basically a structure that we would put other tangles in. So it's a fancy word for grid, but because grid implies like a square grid, this reticula just means a network. So it's a grid that's not squares. Yeah, and the colors are fantastic. And even here, so in this second one of her samples, it's just the two triangles and not the little curly Q thing. So not doing step 3. And so I thought, well, that's interesting and very cool. And then I also use the term aura, which is basically just an outline. And so we'll demonstrate that as we go. And then this last sample that she did, the little curly Q things, the step 3 is at the very tip of the triangles. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that one better because I was ending up with not a lot of room to do anything in these sections. And that it was just like, oh, okay. But see, like here in her step 3, and this is what I tried to emulate, they're just a little ways down from the tip. So all that means is you can do it however you want to do it, however you are inspired. And that's what's fun about Zentangle period. Well, gosh, I have all these out and I can decide what I want to do. So I'm just going to go with straight white here. And then also, just a note, if you, because we have people that are working on sketchbooks or on tiles or, on anything, you can work on whatever it is that you want to. We can add colors if you want to. It is it's a free for all at this, with what we do here. And you know what? I think I'm going to use a thicker, just a little bit thicker, if I can put my fingers on it quickly. I think I might use an 8. Maybe that will help. Now I'm debating. No, I'm going to use this Pigma pen since I have it here. Is this the good one? Okay. A little bit thicker, but not too thick. Okay, so first triangle. And I'm going to do the curvy lines just because. And this too, it can kind of go towards the edges of your paper if you want. It's like, all right, get 2 lines down, that's good. And then, let's see. Anna's asking, how do you decide which to use? Which pen? Oh, yeah. So this one, so here's where my brain was going. Because it's going to be big, sometimes a little bit thicker tip is helpful because it's a little bit more visible. That's really how I decide. But then too, like the second side of things, and thanks, Storm, I see your message. Yeah, thank you so much. I will let you know. The second thing is, as we're decorating, we will use this graphic 1, which is a thicker tip for filling in. But because we have these thicker nibbed pens, if you want to just do a thicker line, period, and have fun with, oh, here's this size line. Oh, and I'm going to do the inside with a little bit thicker line. You could just do it with a stroke instead of kind of what we used to do before I had different size nibs. It was like, oh, fill it and then do it again and kind of color it in, and then there's always sloppiness that comes with that part. So yeah, good question. Okay, so then picking any side to start, the hollabout technique, the art, and my table keeps moving. Hollabout is the art of drawing behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do similar to this, but we're going to do it underneath. So I'm going to start here, and sometimes we air draw, and that's okay. So I'm going to do my bottom, I guess, here. So I'm going to start. Then what we do is, instead of going over, we pick up our pen, travel it over to the other side, put the pen down when you're on the other side, and then continue. So that way, this looks like a continuous line versus what, before really learning the technique, it's like, oh, I'm going to draw this half. Oh, and then I'll come and draw this half. where it helps to have it be a continuous thought. And then it's like, and then the trick is, all right, then we're going to do it over here. And I think it does help to kind of air draw. So it's like, okay, I'm going to land here. And if you felt the need to maybe even, put a little, a dot if you wanted to, just to kind of mark where you want to go. We try not to do that, but sometimes, especially if you're just going to draw right over it, and it where it becomes kind of part of the line. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at how nice that looked. And the last one. Oh, holding the breath. Okay. And then here, so like if you don't meet up exactly, I just decided I'm going to take this line out a little bit further. And that's something that you can kind of go back afterwards if you want or need to, and kind of expand anything. Especially where like here, it's kind of an abrupt stop. And so I'm just going to bring that out more to a point. Here I can't necessarily because I run out of room. Sort of. Yeah. Oh, this one. All right. Oh, well, hi, Leslie. Welcome. The links are in the chat for this. This is Starling. So let me know if you don't see the links and we can put them back in. Okay. Let's associate detention after class for you. You have to draw 100 Starling. All right. So one thing I was thinking about this next step, which as I said, I was having a little bit of a challenge with. I'm going to do it the way it shows. But I was thinking as kind of like an alternate, you could do the same thing here where you're just doing another peak. But here's how it goes. So we're going to do a little spiral that comes out into a straight line, creating a peak that's going to hopefully end in line with, like this center right here. So, and then I'm gonna do it towards the top is where I'm gonna do it. Okay, so deep breath. So you see the spiral, and then landing here, and then just taking it up like so. Then, sorry, I have to read the chat. Oh, Leslie was thinking 50 lashes with a wet noodle. So she's, please cook the noodles really well. So funny. All right, and then we're going to do the flip side. And don't worry about if these are, if they're even or whatever. That's why we call things course corrections. And when we decorate, it can, we can use some of the decorations to do some of the covering up. All right, and Demi, you're right. Looks like Star Trek or Avenger symbol, superhero. Yeah, see, that's probably what attracted me to it. Okay, so then on the flip side, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it the opposite way. And and I'm gonna highly recommend air drawing. So it's like, okay, so I'm gonna start this spiral here. It needs to go out towards this side, down, around, and up, because that's where I was getting caught somewhat, was doing the spirals in the right direction. And I'm looking at the camera, wow, who did that? That looks so neat. That couldn't have been me. Oh, yeah, and Betty is mentioning that nice to be doing Starling Tangle because she has a bunch of Starling babies. Yeah, and I was thinking the birds when thinking about the Starling the bird as I was doing it. Yeah, and see, these can all look like little beaks. There we go. All right, so and then in each section we're gonna do the same thing, and it's not going to matter whichever side is better for you to start. That is what we do. This one I almost need to do it both of them together. A lot of times I'll do like the same side, you know, and turn the tile and do each side and then come back and do the other side. Sometimes that is better because then you're doing the same stroke over and over again and not having to flip back and forth. If that works better for you, then make sure to do that. For whatever reason on this one, it's like I need to have like both sides. I don't know, maybe it was because it was like leaving something hanging. I don't know. Sometimes I don't. I try just to not figure myself out. Just go, yeah, okay, whatever. You're quirky. uh, okay, good. Leslie, yeah, Leslie says even I can't mess up with a triangle. I don't know. I can. Felicity says she can too. Oh no, listen. Well, I hope that your power stays on. That's the worst thing with storms, right? Is that we want to keep the power on. Here we go. Ooh, look at how wide that one is. That's interesting. All right. Oh, okay. This one's going to be different. This is what happens when you just decide that the hand said, I want to do it this way. Well, now I have to do it backwards. Oh, how do I do? Okay. Nope. Ollie. All right. I have to go. Okay. I have to go like this. So if something goes awry, just stay with it. Like that. Let's see if I can only do that one time, then it'll be neat. Oh, and for those that are new to Zentangle, right, Alyssa just wrote it in there. There's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. And yes, it is good. It is good life advice. In if you listen to Rick and Marie on some of their videos, or if you've gotten their book, they have just 2 books out, and that's what they talk about a lot. That art mimics life, or you know, and that's why we don't put erasers in our kits. It's like because there's no eraser in life. You whatever happens happens. It's also the neat thing if you look at it as a way more of a philosophy and kind of practicing the philosophy on paper that then you can also practice in life is like putting pen to paper. Yeah, no mistake. Yeah, unless I'm my mom. Yeah, that's right. uh, but it is a fun challenge to do to just say, okay, well then let's go with it. Let's see what we do. Yes, and mom has been known to grab her eraser off screen when it's desperate. And that's like just that's why I'm like, okay, let me just air draw. Let me air draw it 3 times and see if I can make sure to do it the right direction. Um, but that is what's fun about this. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's going up this way, curling into the center. Oh, but like I said, it's a fun challenge to me to to not use any guideposts. That's why we joke with mom's cheaty thing. But at the same time, it's all okay. It all works out great. And whatever anybody wants to if to use, it's like I remember somebody really needing to do this with pencil first. It's like, okay, baby steps. It's all right. Oh, did you have one like this? Leslie says hiding her supersized eraser from the Dollar Tree. This is oops is occasional opportunity presented suddenly. That's what we like to call our oopses. So all right, so once we have this, then well, as I mentioned, we can consider this from this point, because we have our structure built, drawn, then then we can decorate. You could use the suggestion, if you want to, of doing some little curve lines here. And I think since I left enough room, except for I don't know what I'm going to do there, then so we'll go ahead and do that. So looking at these, where we were just working. So I'm going to come from the center and just do a little curved line to the edge. Yeah, and as Anne says, it's like you have a heart at the base of the whole thing, and that mistake turned out great. Exactly. And I was just reading in the book and saying, you guys go continue to play. And let me find this quote. I should tag it so that way I can access it quickly. But so, Rick and Maria, I mean, they put so much thought into the Zentangle method. And I might start doing something where I, do some posts or something and taking some of these philosophies and just highlighting them because they're brilliant and they're helpful. Like we said, just in life, period. And it had to do with eraser. That's what it was. Eraser. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's what they say. So it says, however, there's one item you will not find in a Zentangle kit: an eraser. In life, there is no eraser, and so it is in Zentangle. There are only experiences. Use them, make them work. There are no mistakes. Whatever occurs, even though it cannot be unsaid, uncut, unwrung, or undrawn, it's an opportunity for new insights, new understandings, and new tangles. We say that in Zentangle there are no mistakes. You can look at them as what Bob, the late great Bob Ross, said: happy accidents. May not be what you planned or expected, but that's part of the magic of Zentangle. It opens a space for something new because it's not limited by an expected outcome. What seems like an oops can be the foundation for something new and exciting. So that's, if we can take, could you imagine taking that that philosophy to life? Here, I mean, it's like drawing is one thing, but then as we can apply it, oh, so many things. So many things could be averted. And we can all live a happier life. Okay, I'm gonna flip back just so I can see. Oh yeah, she added some little flair with her aura ing, and I didn't do that here, but that's okay. So I think I'm gonna just do this. Oops into a wow. That was Inez. Diane's is if you're not happy with it, it just means you're not done yet. We're gonna have to put. I'm gonna have to. Well, you know what? We're gonna have to make a quote book from us because they're brilliant. I'll have to go back through the chats. So I'm gonna oh, and see, that looks neat. So I just with this curve line, I'm coming from the corners and essentially aura-ing, which again, that's just outlining for those that are new to Zentangle. And I'm kind of coming out of the same place and landing, coming from this from the ends, and then I'll see how many, what I got here, 3. Maybe we'll see what 4 looks like. And then I'm gonna do the next one, and then maybe come back. We shall see. Say in the chat we're talking about. Let's say they talk about Bob Ross videos. I used to watch them because I know watch them a bit sometimes. He'd come on PBS and and I'd watch and still not understand, but until when I started doing this, then all of a sudden he made sense. And it could just have been because in my mind I said, oh, I don't do art because I'm not good at it. So therefore it's like using the saying, the quote has been attributed to many people of whether you say you can or you can't, either way you're right. Because our brain, when we treat it like the computer it is, when we put input can't, then it goes, well, okay, so then you can't, and then that's what predominates. So I would just kind of, I think, just shut off, not even on purpose, things of ours like, oh no, that's not of my understanding. I will never understand it, and that's just the way it is. And then this opened up my brain, and so we were being at the laundromat, and Bob Ross was on, and I'm going to skip my little heart. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with that in a moment. And I'm like, Oh, he makes so much sense now. Oh, look it. That it's, I could relate it through Zentangle and just say, oh, gosh, I think I could maybe make happy trees and, and little clouds and things. Because understanding this just is a stroke of the pen that is repeated. They're simple, and when placed strategically, come out into something absolutely amazing. So some of the, well, say, and I probably might aura the inside as well, but then what I got? One, two, three. I was doing four on these. These look like open books, don't they? A little bit, or leaves. That's okay. Um, but I decided I'm going to jump to the inside because that's what I feel like doing. They look like mustache. They do a bit. A big handlebar mustache. They do, Zelda. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna aura. I'm just gonna start with the center, and then so here's a thought. And feel free to look back at the samples, or if you need me to flip back, just let me know. Because yeah, there was really a lot of auraing and color. Oh yes, what colors do I want to use? Wait, let's see. Leslie says, when you want to channel your inner Bob Ross, you stop and smell the flowers. When you want to channel your inner Heather, you run, grab the flowers, and smell them on the way. That's great. Love it. Oh, I'm having it. That you're giving me another thought here. Oh no, I'm talking to my pens and pencil in the case. They're talking to me at the moment. Um, no, I'm not crazy. Let's see. What color are we in the mood for today? I always end up doing a lot of blue. Let's go purple ish. Violet. And there's something else. Okay. I don't know which is darker. This is what I'm going to do. So my first thought was, oh, I can use different nibs. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do that with the first. This is a size 8. And since we were talking about it, that way we can see the differences. So I'm going to aura this center. And also, for those that are new to Zentangle, Zentangle was started as a way to teach meditation through art. And generally, in the methodology, we'll say it's, black ink on white tiles with shades of gray to accentuate, and that's it. Not a lot of thinking. It's just we use. There's some other steps involved, but just so that we but we can add color. We can do whatever we want. And then we generally call it Zentangle inspired art at that point, and either way, it's a lot of fun. But I do like to share that just because sometimes I think we kind of get away with that. Let's see. This is okay. So lavender is lighter. Which did I like better? I like the lavender better. Okay. I'm going to maybe just use this. So I'm going to aura again, maybe a little bit more. But I'm just decided I'm going to do this with this is a General's pastel chalk. Oh, you can't see. General's pastel chalk pencil. And the fun with auraing is also trying to, well, number one, trying to keep the same. That's the challenge. Trying to keep a similar distance, but and then also to kind of work with the contours of whatever you have. Okay, and why not? I'm going to aura these as well, but I'm just going to start off with this. I have a plan in my head. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I can have fun with some pink. So what I end up doing is, okay, I'm gonna play around with this stuff because I kind of have an idea in my head, and then I wait on the things that's like, I don't know what I want to do with that yet. So it's like, yeah, we'll just wait. It's kind of like I remember in school where they talk about tests, taking tests and things, and a strategy being answer the questions you don't even have to think about. Do those first, then come back and you can do the other ones later. And let's see with that. Don't think I need to do this, but I'm just putting a little bit of white in here. You can't see it, but I want it to act like a little bit like a resist. Already or not? Okay. And yes, so I'm doing. I could have waited to the end, but I almost couldn't wait to see if this would pan out the way I was thinking it would. So I'm incorporating some shading, moving the chalk pencil around with my Tortillion. That's why I love using those chalk pencils, because you can treat them like the graphite, and spread it around. And wait, where did you go? Where did you go? Then the pens like to run away. For the pencils. These could end up being like, oh, well, thank you, Zelda. That's like if you did the right colors, it could be like a warning symbol. Biohazard, warning, warning. I had pulled out some tangles that I had done, and there was one that I can run and grab it. I don't think I have it handy, where I made ripples. I think it was when we were doing ant flower or aunt flower, and I made ripples on the outside, and this is how I did it with the graphite. And I thought, well, that could look kind of cool. Not necessarily looking like ripples in a pond, but just have a neat effect. I'm probably going to have to come back and use some of the white. That's appearing on me. Oops. And yeah, that looks neat. Okay, so then, let's see. Oh yeah, and thanks for answering, Zelda. Yeah. Yes, it was this, Leslie. And you can blend with colored pencils, but that's why I like the chalk pencils, because they act like the graphite, and you can spread them around with the Tortillion and have fun with them. So that was that. And I have a white one. I was using it. It must be on the floor somewhere. Now, let's have more fun And apparently I'm in a purple mood today. So, but I don't know if this will go. What did I use? Oh. Or maybe that one is just tired. Let's see. Let's see what else I have. I don't know. Leslie's asking, would the chalk pencil disappear completely after a while? I haven't had it happen yet. But you know what one thing that you can do, even in general, if you have like a lot of graphite, you want to make sure that it's, staying put. There is something called a fixative. It's a spray that you would put on, over something that was done in chalk. So I'm going to use the technique perfing, by the way, which is just putting some little circles, little orbs around this edge that I did. That's a nice decorating technique. But yeah, if you want to make sure to protect it, and I don't know. I mean, my guess is, and we can say, Leslie, if you're on later, we can always ask one later, or if we have another expert. Betty's saying hairspray works as a fixative too. I was thinking that. The thing I don't know is if the hairspray would make have what effect it would have on the pens, because these microns are waterproof and fade proof, it says. So maybe it would not have a bad effect on there. I just remember somebody talking about they sprayed something on their work and their pens ran. And maybe they weren't using microns, they were using something else that was, maybe water based, and that happened. But you could always test it first on something else, and just to see. And well, what's nice, if hairspray does work, then then it's sometimes it's always nice to have something not specialized, that that's a little bit less expensive than having to go to a art store and something. Oh, I think that looks neat. Oh, Jess is saying hairspray works, but paper goes yellow in time. Okay, use Fixative from Amazon. One can collectively last for ages. I think Krylon is the brand that I had of Fixative. And all right. Oh, and thanks, Anne. So I'm like, I forget about the perfing. I don't use it a whole lot, and it's one of those, gotta remember about that perfing. And so let's see. And this one, we'll see as it dries. I don't know if you see how it's. I decided to use a glaze pen. Let's see if I can get it where it's showing right there, where it's showing the shiny. So it stays glazed, which is nice. And Sherry says, yeah, Joanne's Michaels, yeah, sells the fixative. Yeah, use a coupon. So any of those stores that that have that, yeah, coupon, brilliant. Yes. Okay. All right. So my little heart section. Well, I'm going to use this. Let's do these sections here first. And thinking, why not just use the same pen? You know what I kind of like? I'm looking back at the picture, which is nice, and thinking while I'm grabbing my other. Let's see. I know I have a purple pen. Thinking that it's kind of neat how they, essentially started auraing this side. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come down. This one I'm doing with a purple. Well, you might not be able to see it. I'm going to use a purple pen. And well, I'm aiming to go into that point. That one didn't work out so great. But like that. So it's similar to what I did here. It's just I'm coming out the side, coming down the center. And then I think I might just fill in that center when I get there. This I'm thinking I'm gonna just maybe do 3-ish or maybe not. I kind of like it because it's met in the middle there. Right here. And also let me mention, if you end up doing something, and this is what I did in my step out where I didn't like what had happened. And so the course correction is you can always go and fill it in solid and that's fine. Some of this is I am just not even, it's like I'm just doing and not necessarily thinking, and it's not something that I have to work at, and I like it when it just happens. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. All right, you take over, hand. And let me make sure. Oh, good, we're doing good on time. Oh, and I just had another thought. Notice how I do this all by myself, and because usually it's Mama goes, "Oh, I had another thought," and we play off of each other. It's like, yep. It's just funny. It's like we do this all the time. Let's see. I'm not sure what I want to do in the center there yet. I do think that these little centers need to be filled in. And we'll go ahead and do it with the purple. Something I look forward also. And thanks, Jess, for putting in that link. It said, and who took Alyssa's white gel pen? Give it back. We have to play nice. It's the virtual gremlin that reached in and took it. And I don't know if other places. Oh, Zelda fell on the floor of your chair. Ah. What I was about to say, I don't know if in other areas, so like our craft big box craft stores, well, even some of the smaller ones, because they want to compete, we'll have these really nice coupons. So always, at our Joann's, you can always count on a 50% off coupon coming at some point in any near future. And although you do have to watch for their exemptions, but well, I'm kind of liking how this looks. Well, let's see. What are we going to do with that? And it does look like a nice big heart. So why not with black? Like I said, sometimes you just have to air draw. I could just make it into a heart. Oh, and then I can kind of continue this path that we already started right here. So that will give some continuity. And then I can do it the other way with the purple. I'm giggling to those on the chat. So if you're watching this recording, you just have to be here. We have way too much fun. Well, if there's such a thing. All right. I'm thankful for this little oops. See, I'm thinking maybe to go on the theme with the spirals and add some more spirals. Now, especially for those that are new to Zentangle, you can also work outside of this if you want to. You of course can. And Jess, yes, when I get them done, which sometimes I am very lacking, and I work on it. So I do have some that I need to get out, but no, those are available to everybody. I have them on my YouTube channel, and then when I send them out, I generally send out an email to those that attended each session, so that would say, "Hey, here's the recap with pictures and whatnot." And oh well, thanks, Jess. But yeah, they're available to both. But I do work to get the paid classes that people are paying for out first, and so that way because I need to, and then these as soon as I can. And I have a backlog that I need to get working on. All right, so I'm just going to make this one. We're going to just put some print tops in here because that's what it's like, all right, stop thinking about it, just do. And so for those that are say if you're new to Zentangle, this is a tangle, and it's just these spirals, and we either have them kind of butt up next to each other, or they can, just like we did the triangle, they can work behind each other. But I thought that tying it in with the little curly cues, the little sort of spirals, that would be good. Now, if I could just, I was wanting to do them a little thicker. I started the first one that way. And then that's it. And this is what's so fun is having an oops and turning it into a wow, like Inez says. I'm just gonna put a little one here, I think.
Heather, I think my wow is gonna be a whoop. Didn't quite do it.
A wow whoop. Oh, well then that's the you're just not done with it yet part. Oh, let's see.
I think it's gonna go in the transcending pile.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I have to run one of those sometime soon. Okay, so I think I'm digging that. Nice. And oh, and we only have okay. One way to finish, but I think I might just do this in the pink so that because it's different, is you could say you can do other things outside, but I'm going to do an aura over the whole thing. And again, that is just following the lines and the contours. You don't have to get into every crevice. That's where you get to decide, to what degree do you want, like here, I'm not going to go inside, or even here, I might go a little bit further, but not too much. But that's just kind of fun. That, just decide what distance you want to be at. Try to maintain it. It doesn't always work. Oh, for me, I can only speak for me. Like some of mine are, like you see, are kind of going off of the page, which is fun. And you could do multiple of these if you want to. That kind of, it ends up being really cool. But I don't know. I'm just continually enamored and have fun with the fact that you can just do whatever you want and have fun with it. From my lace pens, and then in a moment, I want to see what everybody did. And even if you're, in the process, that's okay too. If you don't want to show, that's okay too. We like to gush over what everybody did. All right. Oh, let's see. Oh, nice, Margaret. She did 4 of them. That is awesome. Yeah, so if everyone wants to open up your webcams, and then what we'll do is keep your webcam open. I don't want anyone's hand to fall off, but I will let you know before I take the picture, just to make sure that we get everybody that's going to. And then what happens usually with this session, because we have so many, is that I have to do 2 pictures because it ends up on 2 pages. And oh, these are nice. Let me get mine. Where am I? I don't know where did my camera go off? Gorgeous. Oh, there's mine. I couldn't see mine. Mine looks all yellowy. Oh, man, these are so neat. Oh, and Alyssa, that looks really, really cool. Well, and say if we get ideas for the next time we want to do it, and switch to alphabetical view. All right. That. Okay. Oh, these are so neat. Okay, and then so if this is it, hold them steady, and again, don't turn your webcam off yet. Oh, there's okay. Inez is getting on. Yay! Oh, I like that though. Okay, so hold them steady. Let me get it, and then don't turn your webcam off yet. All right, and okay, because I just have 3 on the second page. All right, now I got them. So let me do some quick magic. And then I will share my screen. I need to remember to do, all right, what's today? 5:10 a.m. 1. That's what I'm calling this one. And then, okay. Save. And then I'll have AM2 and 2. And if you didn't get on, or if the webcam wasn't working, you can always, if you're not on our Facebook group, you can email it to me, and I'll put my email in the chat in a second. And Maya, that's gorgeous. Did I miss you? We'll say if you think I missed you, then hold it up again, and I can do some cutting and pasting here.
Yes, you did miss me. I accidentally closed my laptop.
Oh no! Okay, hold it up and let me get it. That's gorgeous. Oh, and then we'll just wait till it calms down a minute. Okay. All right, got it. I was waiting until the little guys went across. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you. All right. And so just so you know, so when I share these, I'll be cutting paste, so I put it in one thing. So if your face is on there and you're like, oh no, take that off. Don't worry. I will do that for sure. Okay, so hold on 1 second and let me, what is I said 5 there. And 3. Okay. Then I need to, okay, so let me share my screen, And okay. All right. So yeah, you can turn off the videos, and you should see this on. This should be big, regardless of what if there's somebody on top, because it'll be me. But so just so we can all see Maya's, that is gorgeous. I love those. Love all those colors and everything. As the challenge with screenshots is that they're just going to be blurry. It's the nature. Okay, so that was that one, and then let me pop to the second page so we can see the gorgeous work of Sandy and Sherry and Zelda. Oh, what a neat idea to put like Knightsbridge behind there. Oh, neat idea.
Since Mom's not here, I figured I could use Knightsbridge.
As long as she's not doing it, she's good. For those that don't know, Knightsbridge, as you can see in Zelda's, it ends up looking like a checkerboard or a chessboard, and she just hates all that fill in. So that's our joke. All right, so those are gorgeous, and I like Sandy on that colored background. Nice. And then here is our page 1. Let me move this up and scroll a little bit so we can see all of everything. And whose is this? I was gonna guess. Oh, let's see that. There we go. These are gorgeous, and I like Rosemary starting. Hers is gonna look very metallic. Just so neat. But they're gorgeous. And Alyssa's almost, you kind of get almost a spider web type thing in the background with with those in the aura-ing.
Alyssa's glows.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's neat about how you can and Alyssa, did you use a chalk pencil or a colored pencil or something? Because I see because there's gradient that adds to that glowiness. And let's say and having like Rosemary's on a gray background and using the white and graphite or charcoal pencils, and having that dramaticness. It just is, it's so neat. These are all gorgeous. And I say, and I'm looking at, and as I'm looking to see, well, what did you do that you didn't like? It looks neat. And Jacqueline's, I like yours with the aura, and I'm trying to see what's on the. Oh, and having some extra curly cues going on. Oh, I like that. Nice. Well, this was fun. And Cloud, I like you did some backwards things, but you strategically did them, alternating them. That turned out neat. Oh, how fun. Okay, well this was a good one. And and looking at Felicity's and how I like the orbs instead of just dots. That's nice too. And then filling in the background. It is just so neat how just doing aura-ing, and actually, and am I seeing a little bit of paradox in some of those triangles? And that for those that don't know, it's another tangle, or the name of a tangle. Just gorgeous. Wow. Okay, so we'll say at least goodbye to the recording. Bye, recording.